Yo, Novatos, thanks again for tuning into yet another video. Infamous coming at you live from the West Coast yet again, San Jose, California. So let's go ahead and talk about the Plex Audio System for your FXLRST. Now, this is the FXLRST, but it's not a FXLRST model. This is my Sportster. I've had the Plex Audio System for 4 years now, going on 5 years. And you guys are probably wondering, will it work on a FXLRST, the Plex Audio System? It works. This is the universal bracket that is mounted onto my Plex Audio. You guys can see it. I've painted it. I've been messing around with the Plex Audio, just trying out different colors. My whole bike's painted. So anyways, like I mentioned, it does fit on the FXLRST fairing. I've been getting questions about the Plex Audio. Does it fit on the FXRT fairing, which is something that I also have on my Lowrider S? It does not fit the FXRT fairing. Could you make it fit? I think you can, but you would have to push the Plex Audio System up towards your top clamp, and it's not going to look good. But could you make it work? You can. If you have an FXRT and you already have the Plex Audio, you would have to gut the Plex Audio System and mount it to your fairing. I've already mentioned this quite a few times, but this is a question that I keep on getting on my Instagram. It's a question that I keep on getting on YouTube. Will it fit this fairing? I tell them no, it will not fit, but people still want to make it fit somehow. So the Plex Audio will not fit your FXRT, but it will fit your FXLRST. So it's snug. Alright, so like I mentioned, I've had it for 4 years. I had a little bit of quality issues with the speakers, which is mainly Rockford Fosgate. Alright, and it happens. I understand it happens. Sometimes it could be a little bit of a quality control based on the manufacturer. Sometimes you could get a bad batch. I understand. Plex Audio gives you 1 year of warranty on the equipment. So after my third set of speakers, I think so far these speakers have lasted me for about 2 years now, which is quite good, to be honest. My first 3 sets, they pretty much went bad fairly quickly. I think the first 2 years I went through 3 different set of speakers. The amp is still working. Luckily I didn't have to replace the amp, but it was just the speakers, mainly the because these are 2-in-1. When Plex Audio uses, they're using the 152, the Power T152 speakers, which are 5 1/4 2-in-1 speakers. So what normally goes out is the tweeter on these speakers, and that's what normally gives out. So like I said, 4 years with the Plex Audio System. It mounts. What is going on here? Police. Those guys must be drunk. So anyways, like I said, I don't think it's a knock on Plex Audio. Alright, it's just something on the manufacturer side. That's what I believe. And like I mentioned, sometimes these manufacturers will get a bad batch of products. I mentioned with another supplier or another manufacturer, I'm not gonna say who, but there was another manufacturer of saddlebags. That's all I'm gonna say. Saddlebags, they did have a bad batch of some components that ended up going bad for a few people, because I was getting messages myself. I was getting quite a few messages, because it was also something that I featured on the channel. So like I said, I'm not going to say the manufacturer, but that supplier or that manufacturer offered to repair those or how do you say it? Those faulty, yeah, I said those faulty items, or those goods, those faulty goods. And that's what happened. So when Rockford Fosgate speakers crapped out on me, Plex Audio reached out and they offered to repair them. So that's good on them. Of course, they relocated from Hayward, which is close to me. They relocated down to Florida, so that's where they're located now. But all in all, I think the Plex Audio System is fantastic. I've already mentioned it quite a few times. It is loud. I'm not going to feature the sound system on these. I have plenty of videos. I have them on the social media. I have them on TikTok, Instagram. I played audio on these. It just doesn't do it any justice playing it for YouTube. Guys, I can tell you firsthand, it doesn't really work. All right, I have tried showing how loud these speakers are through YouTube. It just doesn't do it any justice. But I can tell you the dBs on the speakers. So at the max volume on the max volume with these speakers, you're at, how much was it, 112 decibels? I think it's somewhere around there, 110 to 112 decibels from my head position. That's a key detail when I'm measuring the decibels on the audio system. So from my head position, from the speakers, it's about 110 decibels, which is pretty loud. Let me tell you guys, pretty loud. My stage 2 lowrider S at idle, it's somewhere like 92 decibels, and at 3000 RPM, it's at it's about 112, 114 decibels. So it is, the Plex Audio System is surprisingly loud, even though it is only a 2-speaker system, but it does have the 5 1/4 2-into-1 speaker system. So I'm just saying, for the package, $1,000, you know, it's a neat package. All right, you don't have to wire into your harness or anything like that. It's a self-enclosed unit, meaning that we have the power button on the actual Plex Audio, so you don't have to wire onto your harness, splice into your harness or anything like that. You just have to turn it and turn it off, and it's the Bluetooth. It connects quite quick as well. So let's get on to the Rockford Falls Gate system from Harley-Davidson, which is the FXLRST speaker system that actually mounts up right here. Now, I did make a video comparing Plex Audio versus FXLRST. A lot of people in the Facebook group have mentioned that they're not happy with the Harley-Davidson FXLRST Rockford Falls Gate system. A lot of folks in the Facebook group have mentioned that they're not happy with the FXLRST system, and I can tell you why. All right, as far as the amp and the Plex Audio System, the Plex Audio System has more wattage, more amps. All right, so it's outputting more power, not significantly more, but it's more power. All right, another thing is the placement of the speaker system. That's where, you know, I'm mentioning the rider position, right? The Plex Audio System is closer to the rider than the FXLRST speakers, the Harley-Davidson system. We're talking about somewhere between, I don't know, maybe 6 inches closer to the rider. That's going to be a huge difference when it comes to, you know, noise. And I think another one is the placement of the speakers. I think the FXLRST system, to fit into the fairing, I think they're positioned too low. I believe they're positioned towards your chest, which also causes, you know, some issues when it comes to being able to hear your sound system with the Harley-Davidson FXLRST system. The Plex Audio System, they're pretty much tilted towards the rider. They're slightly upwards, so you get to hear them better. And like I mentioned, the speakers are closer to you. I'd say somewhere maybe about 6 inches. You know, that's a big amount. So, you know, for those reasons, the Plex Audio System is better than the Harley-Davidson FXLRST soundbar, or whatever they call it on the Harleys. This is the universal bracket. This one has a what is it? I think it's like a 1/4 inch thick steel it's a thick steel bracket that's holding the Plex Audio, and it doesn't shake. You guys can see how steady the Plex Audio System is with the bracket. So it's mounted underneath of my risers. On the bracket, it's mounted underneath of my risers, and it fits snug between the fairing and the riser. So I really like it. Plex Audio, they're doing it better than Harley-Davidson, and it fits. There's no clearance issues, of course. You guys can decide. Do you guys prefer it looking a little bit cleaner? Yes, the Plex Audio is a little bit of a sore eye or a eyesore, but you really don't notice it. Once you have it installed, the actual Plex Audio System is black, so it blends in to the inner fairing. I don't think it stands out too much. You guys can see it here. I really don't mind it from this angle. I don't mind seeing the Plex Audio System. You guys can decide on your guys' own. Is that something that you guys can't live with, having the Plex Audio System kind of stand out a little bit? So let's go ahead and just pull in right over here real quick. Make sure I don't get hit by any cars. Let's go ahead and see if we can find neutral. Let's see if I can find neutral. Come on. Neutral. There we go. So, like I said, this is where your sound system mounts up to. Yes, this kind of holds it in place, these bolts on the windshield, but there's no support here. This is floating on the outer fairing. The only thing that's holding this outer fairing is this 6 bolts, the ones that attach to your inner fairing. So this is where it would normally mount to. All right, so you guys can see the position. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but of course this is where your speakers are at, and then they're pointed down, so you don't get the benefit of having the speakers closer to you like you do get on the Plex Audio. So here, let's look at the Plex Audio System. You guys can see it right here. It fits in snug. It's a perfect fit. You guys can see there's plenty of clearance between left and right. It doesn't hit. So as far as the look of it, it really doesn't stand out. You guys can let me know in the comments what do you guys think. Is this a deal breaker? Now, Plex Audio, they have released a new system, which is even better than this one. All right, they have a new system. They were able to fit 6-inch speakers on here, so now you're getting more power, more sound, and in the same compact design. They also got rid of, I believe, the power button. So this is new from Plex Audio. I don't know how the new system works, but I think you might have to tap into your OEM harness. I've been talking for a minute. I gotta drink some water. So I think they call it the 2.0, Plex Audio 2.0, and it's only a couple $100 more. I think it's like I believe it's only $100 more. So guys, it's worth it. All right, it's worth it. Get yourself the new Plex Audio System, hook it up onto your lowrider ST. You're going to be a lot more happier. The speakers are going to be closer to you. You'll be able to enjoy your sound. You'll be able to hear it. You have a better amp, better speakers than the Rockford Fosgate Harley-Davidson system. It's all around, it's better, and then you're not putting that stress of the soundboard onto these 6 bolts. That stress of that weight from the road, the imperfections, all of that good stuff. So life's a risk. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning into yet another video. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.